Picture this, you're finally putting yourself out there online, sharing your light and shining in front of the world, but then fear grabs you. A voice in your head says, "What will people think of me? I'm gonna look so dumb. Can I even do this? I don't like how I look on camera. I hate the way I sound." How do I know? Because sometimes that fear gets a hold of me too. Thankfully, this episode is about building your confidence so that you can consistently show up on social media. Yep, we're going to beat that fear. Hey there, dream chasers, budding creators, and rising entrepreneurs. It's me, Lola, and you are listening to The Smoking Prophet, where I bring you inspiration that's actionable to build you up spiritually, creatively, and socially. Thanks for being here. If you're new, welcome. And if you're back, thanks for coming back and listening. Today's topic is building confidence to let your light shine. Nelson Mandela once said, "As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same." You can find that in his book, Long Walk to Freedom. This quote captures a powerful reminder. No matter if you're just starting out, feeling stuck, or trying something new, the reminder is your unique work, your unique gift, your unique contribution to the world doesn't just impact you. It inspires others to step up, to be seen, and to shine. Still, with this powerful reminder, keeping that light bright can be challenging. Pushing out the voice of fear can be tough, especially when things don't seem to go right and when progress is slow. So today I want to get into 3 key strategies to help you build confidence so you can stay consistent as a creator. By the end of this episode, I hope that I'll have given you some actionable inspiration that helps you thrive, create impact, and let your light shine even brighter. Your light, your unique ideas, your creativity, your thoughtfulness, your care, your love, your personality, who you are, even the weird quirks about you, show through the good you do. It's something the people around you can see and experience. Now, creators like you and me do a major part of our good work online, but our light is not limited to social media. Our light inspires people we connect with in any part of our life, that's online or offline. At work, at home, with friends, in school, even at the store. It's present in every interaction and in every relationship. Now, I'll admit something. Feeling confident to shine your light isn't always easy. I think it's because sometimes the world expects grace, but it isn't always quick to give it back. The world expects forgiveness, but it isn't always quick to forgive. So maybe you're afraid of saying the wrong thing. And people being judgmental or unforgiving. And that fear starts to dim your light. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Know that. Also, know that you don't have to let fear steal your shine. And know that this message is for you. Your light has power, and someone out there needs it. Let's get into key number 1. Set measurable goals and milestones. When you have a dream, it gives you something powerful to focus on beyond fear. My dream for the Smoking Prophet is to help people find their purpose and live it out. And while dreams inspire, like my dream inspires me, measurable goals make dreams achievable. So what are measurable goals? They're dreams broken down into mini goals. MINI or MANY. You create many goals or clear specific steps that you can track and also celebrate. The best thing about measurable goals is that they're small steps and each one moves you closer to that big picture, to your dream. Smaller steps focus on specific actions, which make them easier to achieve. So with each step you complete, your progress becomes more clear and visible. Seeing yourself make real progress is a big confidence booster. Think about the last goal you achieved or accomplished. How did that make you feel? Think about the last time your boss shouted you out at work. How did that make you feel? Good, right? It boosted your confidence. Another reason I recommend measurable goals is they keep you from getting overwhelmed and help you avoid unrealistic expectations or unnecessary setbacks. When you set up real lofty, aggressive aspirations and goals, sometimes they're so big that you miss the mark. And when you miss the mark, your confidence comes crashing down. But if you take that big, lofty, aggressive aspiration and goal you have and you break it down into a mini goal, you can go step by step. It'll be easier to achieve, and each little step you take is a little win that can help build and boost your confidence. I know you've probably heard me say this before, but I'm going to share it again. Hitting a goal, no matter how small, releases these feel good chemicals in your brain, and that gives you fuel to stay motivated and to get encouraged. This means setting those measurable goals, aka those small steps that we're talking about, can help you build consistency and confidence. I don't know about you, but for me, seeing the results of my work is addictive too. So when I start hitting my goals, I begin to fall into a rhythm. I begin to fall into a flow. I begin to get into a zone where I feel unstoppable. Now think of a measurable goal you want to set. If your dream is to grow an online community, start with a specific goal, like posting 5 times a week or increasing engagement by a specific percentage. Or if your dream is to make an income on social media, maybe your goal can be landing 1 paid collaboration within the next 6 months. Before we move on to the next confidence building key, I want to tell you how to catch your brand's attention on social media. Here are 5 quick ways to do that. Tag them in your posts or stories. Thoughtfully engage with their content. Don't just say the same old generic stuff that other people are saying, like actually thoughtfully engage with them. Share posts on your page where they're mentioned if it's relevant to what you post on your page. Create original content inspired by their brand. Just don't forget to tag them and use popular hashtags or their branded hashtags that they're using, and add your own unique spin. If I said that list of things too fast, don't worry. Check today's episode description for the info. Now we're moving on to key number 2. Elevate experiences over quantity. Listen, it's easy to feel pressured to produce more and more content for social media, but quantity doesn't always mean quality. You've heard that before, and it definitely does not help boost your confidence, especially when you're posting a lot of content and it's crickets. So instead of churning out content, focus on the experiences you're creating for people. That's what I mean when I say elevate experiences over quantity. Something you can ask yourself is this: how does this content make people feel, or how do I want it to make people feel? What transformation or value does it bring? When you begin to prioritize meaningful experiences, you start to build real connections with people online. And guess what else? You're shifting from productivity to impact, from transactional to transformational. I don't know about you, but when I see lives changing because of something I created, it fills me with confidence and drives me to be more consistent. Think about that. Have you done something and maybe you had an engagement you had to speak at, maybe you did something at work, maybe you did something online, maybe you wrote an article, something, and someone came up to you privately or even told you publicly how much it impacted them, how much it helped to shift their perspective, to transform them in some kind of way. How did that make you feel? You see what I'm saying, don't you? That will drive you to be more consistent, because the transformation is proof that your light is inspiring others. Before I move on, let's talk about recovering from quantity overload on your page. If you've noticed a lack of engagement despite you posting consistently and frequently, it's time to shake things up. Try some engagement posts, like sparking some friendly bravado with quotes that ignite a you versus the world vibe. You can say something like this: what they did can't stop what God is about to do. You can also take some nostalgia trips down memory lane by sharing a throwback with a simple question: who remembers this? That can spark memories in people and get them to react to your post. Another thing you can do is celebrate wins. Social media loves good news, so share some achievement or some milestone, an anniversary, birthday, whatever. Something that happened at work, something that happened in your business or for your brand. Or it could even be something like getting a new niece or nephew in your family. You can post something like, I'll never forget the day my nephew was born. Little cutie. Last but not least, try some type of interactive posts. I know you've seen more and more on social media, and not just social media, online period, where the content is becoming more interactive, even on Google feeds. I will go on Google and look up like a movie, and Google will give me a quiz. And sometimes the quiz is on things like something from the movie, or maybe something about the actors or actresses actresses in the movie. It's so cool, but you can do this on social media. So you can do something very, very simple, like play a choose one or one's gotta go game by posting 4 pictures and asking people to choose which one's gotta go. You may see that a lot during the holiday season. People are posting like food and saying which one's gotta go, but you can do something like that too. Let's go ahead and move on to key number 3. Implement systems and automations. We all have good days and rough days. Today is actually a rough day for me, but I'm showing up anyways. But for me, the secret to showing up consistently, especially on those off days, is having systems and automations in place. On the days where I'm feeling inspired or I have extra energy, I usually create more content. I also pre schedule what I can, like social media posts, emails, articles, my podcast episodes, and even text messages that I send out to my community. My goal is to automate routine tasks so I can stay consistent, even on the tough days. Think of systems and automations as the backbone of your content creation. They don't stifle your creativity, they just help you flow in it a lot better. Here are 4 ways you can automate your content creation. The first one's pretty simple. Outsource the tasks that drain you. If there's something that you don't enjoy, consider giving it to someone else. That's one way to automate it. Number 2, use automation tools that are on these social media platforms and networks. A lot of them will let you pre-plan and pre-schedule content for free. Number 3, batch your content. Group similar tasks like creating multiple posts in one day and scheduling them. I have a podcast episode that shares tips for batching content. It's episode 138 of the Smoking Profit podcast. It's where I talk about my personal journey with social media burnout. I set a goal to hit 10 million monthly views on Pinterest. I got to 9.1 million and I quit because I was burned out. So in that episode, I share a lot of tips that can help you. And I also talk about batching content on there so that you don't burn out, so that you don't get overwhelmed, so that you can stay consistent. Again, that's episode 138. Go and check it out. And number 4, repurpose your content. Repurposing your content means using the same content in different ways or different formats. This is a super useful way to reach more people and extend the life of your content. Do you know that today's episode is actually some repurposed content? I created a graphic and I had like these 3 points on there, the 3 keys I just gave to you. And I made this probably 2 years ago, maybe. And I just was like, I need to build this out and explain it more. I'm going to turn it into a blog and I'm going to turn it into a podcast. So that's what I'm doing now. I also did that with a video that I did a few years ago. It was a short 60 to 90-second video. I took the video and built it out into a podcast. It was episode 169, Experiment Your Way into a Good Thing. But my point is there are so many ways for you to repurpose your content. So instead of you thinking, oh, I always got to be doing something, making something new, using all of this energy to create, you can use some of your energy to repurpose. And it's not as exhausting when you do that. That's the point that I'm making. Some other ways that you can repurpose your content is take quotes from your books or your articles that you have or videos that you've done and post them on social media. You can also share stories through carousel posts, and they can be entertaining stories or educational stories or even inspiring stories. Carousel posts are great because they let you visually share information over several images versus just trying to stuff everything into one graphic or stuff it all into one caption. The cherry on top, carousel posts typically get more engagement too. So check it out and try it. Okay. You can do this. Sometimes the challenge is shifting your perspective to want to do it. Sometimes we're so stuck and set in our ways that there can be a solution to our left, but we're so bent on going to the right that we just refuse to do what's there. So I just want you to be willing to shift your mindset to try some new things, and not new things all at once, just little by little. Something I learned in my garden is try things little by little. There was this beautiful plant that I wanted and we bought one of them. It was this apricot fresco coneflower by Monrovia. Oh, just gorgeous coneflower. And if you know coneflowers, they don't need a lot. They're pretty resistant to like drought and all of that stuff. They just can't take a lot of water. So I ended up getting one of these plants. And then I liked it so much, I went back and I got 2 more, so I had a total of 3. And I planted it on the north side of our yard. And then the storm season came. Our region started getting hit with all of this water, and that part of my yard flooded. And I looked at my poor plants that I just bought, 3 of them, and they were just suffering. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to pull them up, but I'm scared to pull them up because it was the dead of the summer and it was also incredibly hot. So now we got all of this heat, water, and now this humidity. And I'm just looking at the plants suffering. Oh my gosh. I finally did take them up and take them out, and I put them in a pot and move them, and I'm hoping that they recover. But my point is, when you're doing new things, just do it little by little, because doing it little by little can save you the headache or the trouble of unexpected surprises that just crush your feelings, because my feelings were crushed when I saw my plants out there suffering and dying. I'm like, what are you doing, girl? You're just making a mess. But anyways, back to this. Just do things little by little and be willing to try. Someone asked me for some advice, and I really laid it out and gave them some clear strategies, and they continued to do what they were doing. And I wondered why, and I just thought, wow, it was probably easy for them to just continue to do what they were doing versus doing some of the stuff I'm telling them to do. And as they're continuing to do what they were doing, I see that nothing is changing for them. Nothing. So it's like, sometimes we're so comforted by what is easy, but the easy road is not always the best road. And complacency can kill you and can kill your dreams too. So let's move on, because we're actually done. Can you believe that? So let's go ahead and recap. Today we explored 3 key strategies to build your confidence and to shine your light online as a creator. We kicked things off talking about measurable goals. That's breaking down your big dreams into manageable steps that lead to real progress. Then we shifted our focus to elevating experiences over quantity. I stressed the importance of making those meaningful connections with your audience that aren't transactional, but they're more transformational. From there, we went over how to implement systems and automations that can help you stay consistent, even on those tough days. So there you have it. Those 3 keys can help you stay confident and consistent as a creator. It can give you something else to focus on besides fear and that inner critic, that negative voice in your mind that sometimes pops up when you're about to do something really life-changing. Remember, when you let your light shine, you give others permission to do the same. So please embrace the strategies that I shared, and don't just limit it to online. Embrace it in different parts of your life and watch how your confidence grows and your consistency explodes. Okay? I'm Lola with the Smoking Prophet. Until next time, keep shining, keep creating, and have the most amazing life. Bye!
Spiritually, creatively, socially, spiritually, creatively, socially. Do life, do it better, do it better. Do life, do it better, do it better. The Smoking Prophet will inspire and equip you. The Smoking Prophet takes your skills and gifts and molds you. Do life, do it better, do it better.